Awesome, and welcome to tonight's show of Let's Talk About Ice. We are crossing live from the Gold Coast, but not on our usual couch. So we've got some really amazing chairs that we're sitting on in the studio. We actually are in a studio, and we're crossing live from Huntington's Health and Wealth Club in Carrara on the Gold Coast. They've been generous enough to donate space for us to work out of today. So I want to do a big shout out to Huntington's Health and Wealth Club for having us in their home and opening up this amazing space with lights and everything, and green screen behind us. Wow, it's awesome. So thanks guys to Patrick and Mark and the team at Huntington's Health and Wealth Club. If you need a coffee, they got amazing coffee here, so get down here. There's entertainment at different times, and it's a really awesome, warm, loving place to hang out. So I'm spending a lot of time here lately, so come down. And I just needed to do some housekeeping. I did write my notes down today, so it's not housework. Thank God, I don't like housework. But housekeeping, just wanted to do a big shout out to Mercer and Cooper for their continued support with the Australian Anti-Ice campaign, and so giving us some financial support to continue doing the work that we do. So when we go out into school, guys, and to different community, we take flyers and we take resource cards of rehabs, detox counsellors, and we hand that out to the kids so that they can keep that. If they need information, take it home to their parents. We also have a very active website with a 1-800 number that you can call, whether you're a family member that has a loved one in addiction and that you need some support. That is the number to call. It's 1-800 No to Ice, and Brad will put up the numbers underneath. I don't know it off the top of my head, but it's 1-800 No to Ice. And we are live always on Facebook, so if you are a family member and you need support with a loved one that's in addiction, please get in touch with us. That's what we love to do. We love to help you. We're here to serve you. And also the same number applies if you are somebody that's in addiction and you've had enough. So you're the one that needs to make that choice that when enough is enough, and reach out to us and we can help you with our peer support service. So people like myself and like Kerry here, who I'll introduce very shortly, who have been through that experience and have managed to escape that entrapment of addiction. We're here to support you through that journey and making that transition. So the number to call is 1-800 No to Ice, or you can private message us right now on Facebook. Our care team are online and we're there to help you. Just wanted to do also a big shout out to the Rotary Gold Coast. We are, and I've launched on our Facebook, the Rambles. Now that's taking place March the 22nd. Let me tell you a little bit about what happens there, right? You can go online and you can register and you can put a group of 4 to 6 together, and we go on a treasure hunt. Now, I'm entering a team, right? So I'm up for competition. Let's go, bring it on. And I've put up a post on our Facebook. There's a link there that you can register, you and your team, 4 to 6 people. You can choose a charity of your choice. So please choose Australian Anti-Ice campaign. And there's prizes for grabs, and it's going to be a whole heap of fun. And we're going to be dressing up in our AARC gear and our hats. And if you want to support AARC, there's a link there also for you to buy your t-shirt and cap and come along and support the cause. So love to see you there. I know a few people are already starting to register. They've messaged me today. Don't miss out. It's going to be so much fun, and it's a digital treasure hunt, so make sure you do that. So that's the Gold Coast Rotary and the Rambles. Yeah, it's called the Rambles. Just wanted to do a big shout out to Jacob's Well Bayside Tavern for allowing us to have our awareness table there, and we did a raffle at the Mega Fat Music Festival, which one of our girls, Charlotte, got up and she sang on that evening. The Justified, which is my band, was supposed to be up there, but we stood aside, let Charlotte sing, and I tell you what, she blew the roof off the place, and it was amazing. So if you know that we're performing somewhere, keep tabs on our Facebook. I always put it up. Come and support, guys, because people that have a lot of talent, that have come out of addiction, are on board AARC, are in recovery, and taking part in our music program, come and support them, yeah, because they're starting their new life and they need your love and they need your support in that. So come clap, come and dance, sing, wherever we may be, and we'll be introducing very, very shortly a program for youth who have talent and would like the opportunity to workshop that and potentially record their first EP. So, but we'll be talking with Charlotte a little bit later on about that. So thank you to the tavern. Also, can Tony, the winner, we raffled an Indigenous piece of artwork. A gentleman by the name of Tony won that, and we have been trying to ring the number diligently, but there's no answer. So Tony, if you're watching, we need to get in touch with you. You were at Jacob's Well Bayside Tavern and you bought a raffle ticket for the Indigenous artwork. So we need you to contact us. The number to call is 0756656063. That's 0756656063. If you don't want to claim it, just let us know and we'll re-raffle it. But yeah, it is yours to come and claim. So, what else did Leanne put on my list? Okay, events coming up. This Sunday, yes, I can't wait for this. This Sunday is our sunset cruise. So Mel and Mark, contact them if you want to go, if you want to come and join us on a sunset cruise. It's on Gold Coast Cruises, and all the proceeds that they that for the ticket are then given back to the charity of their choice. And every second month we go on this cruise, so we have a great time out on the water. We have nibblies, we have drinks, well, not alcoholic drinks, but we still have drinks, and we have a lot of fun out on the water. So I think it's $49. It includes your nibbles, your drinks, your sunset along the Broadwater and our company. So hopefully we might even do a bit of music there for you, so if you're lucky. Rotary Rambles in March, got that, and the Melbourne Raffle. So the last thing, guys, tonight I want to talk about before we get on with that amazing interview that I'm so looking forward to doing with Kerry. The Melbourne Raffle draw is on next Friday. That's Friday the 7th of February. And you can buy your tickets online. It is for Melbourne, Sydney area, and we have some major prizes there. There's 29 prizes to be drawn, some of which are sunset cruises, weekends away. So it's $25 a ticket. And all profits of that come to help Australian Anti-Ice campaign. So hop online and look up the Melbourne Raffle. It is on our webpage. So our webpage is www.australianantiicecampaign.org.au. So if you go up to the top of that page, you'll see our shop, and in our shop you can purchase your raffle ticket. Okay, so that's, if you're in Melbourne, please don't miss out and help a good cause. Valentine's Day is coming up really soon. That's 7 days after the raffle, and you could win the sunset cruise and take your lover on there, husband, wife, or somebody that you care about, or just enjoy the other raffle prizes. Yeah, but more importantly, you'll be helping a good cause. You'll be helping us continue our good work. And as you know, we're not funded by the government. And we've recently just lost our offices. Roof caved in, we got rained out, we lost most of our things, and we're trying to recoup all of that and get back. We're still doing the work that we do amongst all the disaster. Let me tell you, it's been challenging, but we've been through worse. I've been through worse, and so when you've slept on the street, going through a bit of change like this, we're overcomers. So we work together as a team, and we just need your support right now, and we just ask you to get on board and be part of something. Be part of something that really makes a difference, that changes people's lives. What are we here for if we're not doing that? Yeah. So this show tonight is not only for us to come on the show and say hi and do a shout out about all these awesome things that we're doing, but to also share our heart and our stories, because it's the power of the testimony that can help people. Yeah. And by doing that, we're raising awareness, we're educating people out there about the dangers of this drug called ice, in hope that you don't have to go there. Yeah, all of us that have come out, that get interviewed on this show, you don't come out unscarred. Yeah, and we don't want you to go through it. You don't need to go through it. So we do this show as an awareness. And right now I'm going to ask you to share this post on your Facebook, because you don't know who is suffering quietly and who needs to hear this message tonight. It could be, your child tomorrow. And you don't say it won't ever happen to me because I didn't think it was going to happen to me. So please share this post, because we need to get the reach out there so that we can help more people. So together we can put the freeze on ice in our community, yeah? So without further ado, I'm going to shush up a little bit and I'm going to introduce our amazing guest. Kerry, thank you so much for being on the show today. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
And I like your t-shirt, man.
Yeah.
What's that say?
It's Man Up.
Man Up.
Man Up Gold Coast.
Tell me a little bit about Man Up.
So Man Up's a 15-week program.
Yep.
And it's overcoming, dysfunctions and helping men heal and, making them better partners, stronger fathers.
Okay.
And just healing within, really,
So is that a group of men that come together?
Yeah, it's a group of men. It's it's a 15-week program for men to obviously open up, not harden up.
Yeah,
and
awesome.
it helps them overcome, things that they've dealt with in the past.
That's awesome, and we all have stuff,
Yep. Oh, we do.
Whether you're you're a man that's been through addiction, or you've been in prison, or you've been through a divorce or whatever. We all have stuff.
Yep.
Because that's life, isn't it?
Definitely.
Yeah, Kerry.
Yep.
And that's great that there's that community service that really want to come alongside people that have. It's the same thing, isn't it? Peer support. I've been through what you've been through.
Yep.
Is that a bit how it works?
Yeah, that's a bit how it works. Yeah.
How long have you been with Man Up?
I've been with Man Up. I did my 15-week, program with them.
Yep.
And after that, I actually became a facilitator in Robina.
Awesome.
So through all what I've been through and all the transitions and stuff, I've come out on top.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And I know I met your partner today as well, fiance.
Yep.
Cherie, is it?
It is Cherie, yep.
And I was really blown away that she and you have come through this trial together, and it's challenging enough coming out through addiction and trying to recover from that, let alone with somebody that you love that has been there as well, because there's stuff, that water under the bridge, and there's stuff that you go through that, I know that because I've been through it. Unfortunately, I have my partner didn't manage to come out with me. He stayed locked away in there.
Yep.
So you're very, very blessed,
I am, yes.
to have that opportunity.
Both are. Yeah.
And so, can I ask you let's start backwards. Usually I start the other way, but I'm going to start backwards with you today for some reason. Was it Man Up, and I know Cherie's part of Sisterhood, which we work very closely with as well. Yep. Was it Man Up that made that difference, that really turned things around
definitely.
for you?
It was the turning point in my life.
Wow.
Yeah, so it made me realise a lot of stuff that, that I wasn't aware of, or, how do I overcome a lot of stuff, and, how do I deal with the things that I was dealing with, to go forward.
So when you first joined Man Up, were you still using?
No, I wasn't. It'd been a good couple of months, or at least a month before I started Man Up.
Yep.
So I went to detox facility, and and then I was with my parents in that for a while, and until things came right, and then did some counselling, and then went to Man Up.
Yep.
And then
so did you do
progressed from
rehab?
there. Pardon?
Did you do rehab?
No, I didn't do rehab. I pretty much visited the rehab facilities and realised at that stage, this is not for me, so I went home to family.
Yep.
So family could help me, and I guess they were my backbone through the whole thing.
That's awesome. Yeah, it is through the power of love that you're going to be able to, I guess, when you hold on to love, it helps bring you out to a space within people can help, because without love, it's very, very difficult. And I feel we work with a lot of people that have, have done a lot of damage to their families, and they've been cut off from society.
Yep.
They've been cut off from family members because there's just been so much damage, I remember we met a guy in prison who was in there he killed his dad, and he was very remorseful because he was clean now, but at the time he was in psychosis and he didn't understand what he was doing because the drug had taken over.
Yep.
So again, if you're a family member watching and you're hearing this, and I hope it's really clear that the love of a family, being there, and there is boundaries. I'm not going to say accept everything that your addict might be doing. I'm saying love you, don't love what you're doing. And we do have some amazing support available to families to be able to, to draw out where those boundaries lie, but, to be there from a place of love, like your family were for you to come back to when you made that decision to get clean.
Yes, yeah.
Where was home? Where was...
Home?
Yeah, you said I went home.
Oh, in Robina.
Okay.
So yeah. So
so
my whole family live here.
Yep.
They've been here for a good 16, 17 years.
Wow.
And, it was hard for me to reach out to family, because of the addictions and stuff. And
Yep.
But I guess family, is your home.
Yeah.
And no matter what, that's your strength. And so it was kind of embarrassing, but at the same time it was confronting too.
Tell me what triggered you to reach out to your family again. Oh, I'm presuming that they would have gone, get out of,
stay away sort of thing.
Yeah. Did that happen?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was more like they didn't want me to stay away, but it was more if you're going to live that life, don't bring that into my home.
Yep.
And of course I was disgusted and embarrassed, and but for me the turning point, and what made me realise enough's enough, is that the lifestyle at that time that I was living was dragging in certain individuals, and so it was going to lead me even deeper to doing stuff that I shouldn't be doing. And I thought,
I'm going to ask the hard question.
Yeah.
And I always give our guests the opportunity to go, no, I don't want to go there, right? But I do encourage you to, if you can. What does that mean? Like bringing in certain individuals, like
well, it was more dealers and stuff, and people that are more underground, and people that were using needles and stuff. So that's when I looked at my life and I thought, wow, what was going on here? I'm getting too deep, too dark.
Yep.
And for me, it was about I was resentful for what I was doing, so I wanted to hurt these people. It wasn't their fault. It was much their fault. It was my own fault.
So the people that were giving you the drugs, you wanted to hurt
pretty
them?
much. Yeah. I didn't have to pay for it, which is not good.
So you were angry with them for your addiction?
Yeah, in a way. Well, more of the everyday involvement.
Got you,
like I'll be asleep, these guys will be ringing, or whatever it may be. They'll just turn up constantly.
Yeah.
So I thought to myself,
you're keeping me entrapped.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't want.
And I knew the right from wrong.
So you got angry about the situation you were in.
Yeah.
And that was what triggered you to say, I've had enough and I need help.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Definitely.
Tell me about. I want to go back now to the beginning. What was your childhood like?
My childhood was interesting. Yep. I remember back when I was 3, and so my parents were very colourful, I suppose. All I remember was getting drunk at like 3 sort of age, and then walking over to my sister's school and stuff, and getting them out of school.
You got drunk at 3?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, how did that happen?
Yeah, that was just through choices, I suppose. My mother making certain choices, I suppose, and not being able to be there at that time, and and me just wandering off doing my thing,
And parents are human too.
Yeah, for sure.
Being a parent doesn't, and I often say this to my kids, and now that they have kids, they get it, right? Being a parent doesn't come with a manual, and it doesn't say, if your kid's like this, do this. If your kid's like that, do that. You're kind of winging it, and you're hoping for the best. And, you can take your parents' opinions and grandparents or whatever, but every person's different. So you're kind of doing the best that you can, and we can either take what our parents did or didn't do in life for us as what makes us become what we become, or we can say that was their journey, that was their trip, but this is how I want to be now, and make your own choices. It's really difficult to and I know this because I did that. You know, I'm never going to do that. I hate
Sometimes you
him for
rebel.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I find a lot of stories revolving addiction. There is a lot of that underlying stuff. You know, because of hurt and because of stuff that you expected to happen, but it didn't, or it went a different way. Yeah.
I mean,
So- Sorry,
my
go on.
parents only knew how to, what they knew when we were younger.
Yeah,
you know.
that's right.
Yeah.
They only had what they had. So
Yep.
you got drunk at 3. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you get
Those
that?
were just after parties and stuff. I'd go
Wow.
collect all the alcohol and, make a mess of it, I suppose.
Yeah, can I tell you a little secret?
Yeah.
And we're live, right? So
Yep.
I'm going to tell you a little secret too. I actually got drunk at 2.
What?
I kid you not, right? In Brazil, they have this drink called cachaça,
Yep.
right? And it's like 99.9% alcohol.
Whoa.
My parents were playing cards on a table and they had a glass of cachaça. Well, this one here went finger in,
Yeah. Tastes
finger
great.
in, and I drank and I passed out on the floor under the table, and they were like, "She's drunk." I was 2.
Right.
How
Yeah.
crazy is that?
But, yeah, for me it didn't happen all the time, but when,
Yeah.
these are the hard memories that
Yes.
and, the life they were involved in and stuff at that time. So,
Okay.
we moved away from all that and, things got a bit better and
Yeah.
so.
Was that New Zealand?
Yeah, that's New
Yeah,
Zealand.
yeah,
Yep.
cool.
Yep.
And so then when you moved to Australia, things got a little bit better and...
I moved to Australia 4 years ago.
Okay.
And however, I've been around this stuff since 1999.
Okay.
And so it's been on and off, within the addictions.
Yep. So were your parents using drugs?
No, they weren't. They were really good, yeah.
So what enticed you?
I think it was gravitation to relationships that were,
Okay.
drug use in that as well.
Yep.
And I think, I like the thrill of it sort of thing at the time and, that's what I gravitated to.
Yeah,
if they
yeah.
couldn't get it, I'd get it.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
sort
yeah.
of.
So the challenge of
Yeah.
doing something
Yeah,
wrong
yeah.
and, that... I've got to ask, because I know they're thinking it and I'm thinking it. So did you think drugs aren't good for me and, maybe it's going to damage me or...
Yep.
Did you
Every
think
time I
anything
took
like
them, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing?
Wow.
So every time I had it. So I knew, when to pull myself up, but then I couldn't pull myself up.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that was the lifestyle I was living. And, but every time I had it, I was kicking myself.
Yeah, yeah.
What am I doing?
So was ice the first drug of choice?
Oh, marijuana?
Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
yep.
And tell me about that journey. Were you using every day? Were you using recreationally?
What,
Were you...
marijuana? Or?
Yeah.
Oh, no, there was times, I was dealing it.
Yep.
Because that was a way of income for me in New Zealand.
So were you smashed all the time, or were you just like doing it?
Sometimes go to work smashed,
Yeah,
sometimes straight after work, sometimes in between. So yeah, there were times where I was on and off, and there was times where I just put it down and it didn't bother me,
Okay.
And but it was a way of a lifestyle for me, easy
yeah.
money sort of thing.
Yep.
And but yeah, then there's times I just gave up for a year, or that's when I picked it up, or but yeah.
I heard today, it was actually yesterday, I was having this conversation, and I heard somebody say to me, but in New Zealand everyone does it. It's like
Yeah, so second
drinking
nature.
water, and I'm like, what do you mean? Like, isn't there like a thing that goes, drugs aren't good for you?
Yep.
But how did you, I guess, process that as being okay? Tell me.
I guess
what-
it was just a way of lifestyle too.
Yeah.
For me, I knew it wasn't okay, but it's just something that I enjoyed. It took a hold of me, and then it kind of didn't, and then I needed it, and then I didn't need it. So
Yeah.
it just became like a cigarette.
Yeah, yeah, I heard that yesterday. I'm like, everyone does it in New Zealand. I'm like, yeah, but is it because they normalise it, do you think?
Yeah, I think it's just, I shouldn't say this, but part of the culture, with parties and, garage parties, and everyone kind of smokes marijuana. Not everyone, but, within certain youth groups or, social circles.
Well, I know, I have a lot of New Zealand friends, and I understand that, but Brazil's also, where I come from, is a very party environment, and there's I've got to say, they have alcohol, but they don't really like, drugs aren't that much of a massive thing there.
Yeah.
Why do you think in New Zealand it became such a natural, normal thing to do marijuana? What do you think?
I guess it would just be cool to do it at school when you're getting older,
Yeah.
So it became, you know, go to a party, someone smoking it out the back, say, oh, I'll have some of that.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, or, you know, I didn't start really, I didn't try marijuana until I was 17.
Wow.
You know, yeah. And I know a lot of people that try it a lot younger.
Yeah,
You know, it
yeah.
wasn't really for me, but it was when I was at a breakfast table with a lot of a family member.
Yeah.
And they said, try this. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, and then just, you know, gravitated from one thing to the next.
Can I tell you something? On our streets today, not all over Australia, not just here on the Gold Coast, they're lacing marijuana with ice.
Right.
Did you know that?
Just keep
Yep.
them addicted to it.
Yep, exactly,
Yep.
exactly.
Get them hooked.
So we talk about this in schools, you know, that they're cutting ecstasy tablets and party pills with ice. And the reason for that is that if I can take away your capacity to use your frontal lobe, where logic, rational decisions take place, and I can get you addicted to something, you'll be coming back for more business, yeah, and I'll have you returning a lot more and more often, more frequently, and not being able to process. Hey, I'm using too much. I'm it's doing damage to my body. So that's what's going on out there. If you didn't know, now you know. Yeah, we're about exposure, exposing the truth.
Sure.
Yeah. Tell me how you escalated. I want to know what happened between using marijuana, you got dealing, and then how you came to ice. Like what happened in between there, okay?
Well, I went to work one evening and someone offered it to me and I was like, oh, what's that? Yuck. And he was like, no, try this, it'll keep you up for the night. And I was like, oh, because we did night shift. And I was like,
Yeah.
All right then.
So you went straight from marijuana to ice?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And, you know, over a few years sort of thing. And so I tried that. And then I was like, oh, this is, you can't smell it, you can't taste it, you know, sort of thing. And no one could notice it. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And,
that's a good point to bring up because, you know, with marijuana you can really smell it. You walk in a room, it's like, oh my goodness, they're doing heaps in here. But with ice, you don't. Most people don't smell it at all. When you've used though, if somebody's using, I find, I don't know about you, but you can smell it coming out of their skin because there's a distinct chemical smell.
Yep.
Yeah, because they are actually putting chemicals in their body, you know, so that if you didn't know that, you know, stuff like Drano, acetone, countertop cleaner, battery acid, and a whole array, even glass goes into the making of this stuff that they're using out there going, oh, it's going to make you lose weight in a few days, and, you know, it's going to make you feel amazing, and you're not going to sleep. You know, you're going to be able to do your work, and, you know, superhuman strength, what the boys are thinking. Like, that's all the chemicals that's going in there, and it's a lie. What you're being told is a lie. It's a fabrication. It's a facade. It's not real, yeah? So we're exposing ice for what it actually is and what it does to somebody's life here today.
Yep.
So then you tried this ice stuff, and what happened?
I guess I got hooked. You know.
Straight away?
No, after a couple of uses.
Okay.
You know, and then,
Did you use it like a couple of times straight the next day and the next day, or did you wait like...
it was like once a week sort of thing.
Okay.
You know, and then it was every second day. You know, and then it was every day. You know, and then...
It's very quick, isn't it?
yeah, and then I kind of got off it because, you know, I knew it wasn't right. And then I obviously gravitated around another relationship and they used, so I was like, oh, well, if you use, I can't, you know, if I can't beat you, I'll join you.
Yeah.
So that's what I did, you know.
Wow. And so how quickly did it take for you to start using like regularly every day?
Well, it wasn't for a few years really.
Wow.
You know, until I was kind of like, you know, I need it, you know, sort of thing.
Yeah.
It became part of my lifestyle,
Yep.
you know. But yeah, it took, I was kind of headstrong at the same time, you know, but once I got hooked, you would say,
Yep.
that was me, I couldn't stop. You know.
And you know, Kerry, everybody's point of, I guess, I need it. Yeah, and we often explain it in schools about it being like air. Yeah, if I cut off your air supply right now, you do whatever it takes to get the next breath of air, and that's what it feels when you get to that point of like, I need it, and I will wait at midnight at the ATM, and I will hurt somebody because I know that they've got the money I need to get the next hit, right? So everybody's point of that turning point, if you want to call it that, is different. Yeah.
Yep.
Some people, you know, I've known a guy who went into psychosis the very first time he used ice and didn't come out, and he's still in there. 16 years later, he's still in psychosis and hasn't come out. Some people, you know, get addicted, the very first time they use it, it's all doing the same damage. Though.
It is,
You
yeah.
know, whether it took you a week or 2 weeks or a year to start needing it like you need air, those chemicals are still breaking down your vascular system, you know, breaking down your neurological pathways in your brain, yeah? So parts of your brain stop working, you know, giving you kidney dysfunction and heart failure, and, you know, it eats away your muscles. It's straight away, it starts to do that, especially at the purity level that's on our streets today.
Yeah.
You know, they're telling us, evidence shows between 80 and 90% purity. Now what that means is not that it's, but it's, you know, it's pure. Like, it's not pure, right? It's concentration that they're talking about, and that is the strength. So if I give you, you know, a medicine that's more concentrated, you can put less in there, but it's still the same medicine. Does that make sense?
Totally
So
right.
it doesn't mean like it's, but this ice is pure. There's no such thing. It's all chemical, it's all synthetic, and it's all damaging chemicals that's going to destroy your internals and your brain, yeah? So it doesn't get any better in any form.
No, it doesn't.
You know?
No.
So you went from very quickly, you started using weekly, and then you got, after about a couple of years, you were like, I can't turn back now.
Yeah, yeah.
Tell me what was going on for you in that process of those 2 years. Like, did you hide it from your friends and your family?
Yeah, I guess I was, you know, it's not something that I would flaunt to anybody.
Yep.
You know, something that I did behind closed doors, you know, between me and my partner, or me and my friend, or, you know, or a small circle that we did have.
Yep.
But, you know, I guess it was more failure of relationships for me. You know, it was like behind a mask. You know, like, if I have this, I feel great. You know?
Yes.
And every time I had it, like I was saying, I knew I should be doing this. You know, I kicked myself, like, I felt disgusting.
Yeah.
But it's just something that I enjoyed the high, you know,
So
at the time.
Did you feel disgusting when you actually said, yeah, I want to hit?
It was,
Or
no, it was
after?
after. Yeah,
When you're coming
you know.
down, eh?
Oh, not so much coming down, just as I've had it,
Right.
sort of thing, yeah.
Yep,
you know.
yep.
And so in my mind, I knew what, you know, I don't want to do this, I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
But it was just something that became a lifestyle. You know.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. And so were the people that you were hanging out with, were they all doing it too?
Yeah, yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Did you ever think about reaching out for help?
I did a few times, and then, but not as much as I should have. You know, like as deep as I am now. You know, the help that I've asked for, and how far I've come today.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah.
Do you think, Kerry, that, you know, if somebody had reached out to you and said, mate, I know what you're up to, and I've been there, and, you know, I now have kidney failure and a heart problem, and I ended up in jail and in prostitution, and I've destroyed I lost everything, man. Do you want to get out of that life before it's too
Yes,
late?
I would have, yep. But I think for me, it took a lot to actually see how this lifestyle worked,
Yep.
and to see, you know, what you're talking about. You know, that's when I realised, you know, whoa,
Yep.
you know, these people need help. So do I. You know,
Yep.
get myself help first in order to help others.
That's
you know.
awesome.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. A lot of people that are using it there, you don't want to be stuck in that world. I know I didn't. And I was like, man, I hate what it's doing to me. I hate that it's destroying me emotionally, physically, mentally. Yet I didn't have the processing capacity to make logic, rational choices and to know where to go and how to get out. Yeah, or even you know, to even process that I needed to get out, but I didn't want that. You know, but
Yeah.
is that what was going on for you?
Yeah, yeah. It was more the relationships that I was in as well. Because
Yeah.
they did it, I'll do it.
Yeah.
You know, if they're going to go somewhere to get it, you know, I'll go get it for them. You know,
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I didn't want my partner at the time
To use it without you?
Yeah, not that. To go get it from someone, or you know, that they didn't know or they couldn't trust or something.
Yep.
So it became not a control thing. Or, you know, I never played God with the staff or anything like that. It was more, how do I help? Not, you know, there. Feed it, but not feed it, you know. So I kind of had to pull my head in, really, you know. And
Yeah,
go, whoa,
wow.
whoa, whoa, what's going on here? You
Yeah.
know, I never dealt it or anything like that. It was more used.
More
you
for
know,
personal
yeah.
use, yeah. And I know for a fact myself anyway, and it could be different for you. You get entrapped when you're in a relationship. You know, if your partner's using it, you can't. And I tried it. I did try this. No, I'm not going to do it. But then they'd bring it and they'd be on the table, and you just couldn't.
Yeah, so did I.
The power, the strength of it. People that say, "Oh, but I'm not using, but my partner's still there, but I'm not." Yeah, it's a matter of time. You know, that doesn't happen, right? So, but to you know, to be loved and to be part of that relationship, and you know, ice is a massive sexual stimulant. Let's not you know, put that aside. You know, that it does you know, steer a life around you know, sex, prostitution, promiscuous activity, and you get entrapped in that because of the effects that it has not only on your brain but also physically. So it's really difficult to put down when your partner is doing it and you're not, and so it makes it double trouble. I would probably call your story like double trouble, right? Because you know, you had a partner that was using as well. Tell me about what, because I know what happens in the brain with the chemicals in relation to serotonin, and I have experienced it, but I want to hear your story in terms of there must have been some beauty arguments going on in your house.
There was sort of, and there wasn't, you know.
Yeah.
There were times, only if, like I'm pretty chilled anyway.
Yep.
And it was more if my partner at the time wanted something or couldn't get something, you know, kick up a stink. So there'll be a few rules. Just, you know, I'll just kind of walk away or keep feeding the need, I suppose. You know.
Yep.
And but yeah, there were times where there would have been a few pushing and shoving sort of thing.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm really against domestic violence and stuff. So
That's awesome.
you know,
Yeah.
you know.
Because it does spark up a lot of domestic violence.
Does, yes, I've seen it too.
The serotonin in the brain, the chemical in the brain called serotonin, gets depleted, and the lack of that, guys, causes impulse action, anger, violence. So little things trigger off. You know, families end up in domestic violence disputes. Police get involved, DVOs, kids taken off families. Like it's really it's out there to still kill and destroy lives. There's no mistake about that, and it's causing division in so many families. I've worked with so many ladies that have had kids and they've lost their kids and they're with grandparents and it's 2 and 3 generations deep. Because of the fights and what's going on and the dynamic of things. But some of that stuff is irreversible.
It is, yep.
And so I want to know a little bit about how you both got off ice. Together?
I guess, yeah.
Same time?
Well, it was more. I told my partner she needs to go to her mother's. You need to go home. She was like, I don't want to go home. I said, no, you need to go home. And at the time, so we had a bit of argument and disagreement and stuff. Obviously, didn't want to leave and didn't want that to happen. And came to an agreement. Okay, so she did. She went home and so I sat there for a good week after sipping through what I was going to try and do in life.
Yeah.
And after kicking out a few people, like, you need to get out of here. I need to do this. I need to do that. It was more. I felt like, am I looking after myself? Am I looking after her? Am I doing the right thing?
Yeah.
And I felt at the time I am doing the right thing. It took a little while to process. For other people to realise what you're doing. So then I reached out to my family, but.
What triggered that, Kerry? Like,
I think I was. Well, it's not think. I know that just looking from, watching people coming in and out my house and that they're users and stuff and how they live their life. Like I was, this is not me.
How was that?
I'm better than this.
Can you paint a picture? Because there's some people at home that are not like they hear you, but they've never been there and they can't see it yet.
Yep.
Yeah. So can you paint? What was it like? Life like? What was it like?
I guess it was. Life was quite dull, really. You've had a few people walking through your door that want to deal ice or want to bag it up in your house and stuff, and then want to move on, and then the next people come through. So it's not the kind of lifestyle I wanted to live or be around. And not only that, I got to see how people live in that lifestyle. Yeah. They're coming out of jail and they're back dealing, or they're stealing from the shops or something. That's one thing I never did was steal off anybody or do anything to hurt anybody to get the stuff, because I've seen enough of that going on.
Yeah.
No matter the lifestyle I was living, how do I stop these people? As much as, I was learning about the drug, I suppose, and, the people around the drug and associated to the drug.
Yeah.
You can't, as much as you want to stop it, there's one thing I learned, love and drugs don't mix.
Yeah.
So.
That's so true.
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah.
And love makes the world go round.
Oh, it does. Yeah.
And drugs destroy it. So you made a decision. No, we've had enough. We don't want people coming in and out.
Yeah,
I don't
for
want to
sure.
live that lifestyle anymore. And
Yep.
your partner she was with you in that
Yep.
choice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, she was, yeah.
Not at
She wanted to
first.
still be there,
Yeah.
but she didn't want to be around the drugs at the time, But,
Yeah.
So that's something that, she came to the decision, if I can't beat it, I'll do it,
Yeah.
And it's just something that, she did say a few times, stop, and I'm like, yeah, okay, but there was the people, I shouldn't blame the people, it was myself, but,
Yeah.
so,
The
I just
opportunity
carried
was
on.
there in front of you.
Yeah, that's
and
right,
you've got to take yourself out of that environment.
Yeah.
How did you do that?
I just
I
told
know you
everybody
went-
to get out pretty much, otherwise I'm going to start beating them up.
But did they call you? Did they
No.
annoy you?
No.
Did you have no friends at the time?
It was more like, 'cause I've only been in Australia here 4 years.
Yeah.
So that was the way I found friends, and through the drug industry.
Yep.
And I thought if I was a part of them, I'm wanted.
Were you?
Well, not really,
Were they your friends?
not at all.
We call them frenemies.
Mm.
Yeah, they're not your friends. They're there while they're using, and in the drop of a hat, they will leave you. And I've seen it time and time again. Girls getting dropped off in the hospital door, out of a car, and or beat up in a house, locked up for 8 years. I've seen that. That's not friends, guys. If you're using and you think, oh, but they're my friends and I want out, but I don't want to lose my friends. Honestly, you need to help yourself first. And if they're your real friends, you can go back and help them later, yeah? But you got to get yourself out first. And that, I always think about on the airplane, when you're on the airplane and they say, you got to put your mask on first before you can help. Because if you don't, you run out of air, you're going to die, and then you're both going to die. So you get out first, get help first. And the way you can do that is to reach out to us, yeah? Either send us a message right now, and we'll be online to answer you. And what we do is, we're not government, we're sworn to secrecy. We just pair you up with somebody like one of us, that have been there, that have managed to come out, that have cleaned up our life, and we know the road, we know where you're at, we know the journey, we know the hurt that you're going through, and we'll be able to stand with you and also give you some resources and things that you might need. So I don't know if you're without food, I was homeless, I was sleeping on the street, I was suicidal, and I needed love. And, I had people around me that came and they gave me food and they gave me love, and they helped me get a place. You can sleep in my place tonight and stuff like that. And it slowly, I got back to normal. Was that what you experienced? Tell me.
Yeah, it was pretty much coming to realisation, I need help. And then that's when I reached out to my family, and I think that's where, I went with my family to just get away from it all. Just drop all the contacts,
Yes.
just stop doing drugs altogether.
Yep.
Stay away from the people. My family would keep me away from these people. Like, nah,
Yep.
that's it.
Yep.
You're staying with me, and and I was lucky, fortunate enough to have my family there. Because I have broken hearts along the way. So as much as I was under my family's wing, I still had to mend the hearts as well.
Yep. And earn the trust again.
For sure.
Huh?
Yeah.
How was that?
Oh, that was interesting.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tell me
It
about
was a
it.
long process, so they wanted me to do counselling, they wanted me to have family meetings,
Yes.
and stay away from certain people,
Yep.
and do the right things,
Yep.
and then I just pretty much, planted myself in Destiny's Church,
Yep.
and I think that was a big, they were happy, they were like, wow,
Yeah.
to actually see me following in the faith of our Father.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And there were an amazing group of people there at
Wow.
Disney Church.
Yep.
For me too, I had an incredible group of people in a church that came around me and loved me. It's
Yep.
not about religion, it's not about doctrine, it's not about right, wrong, or changing you, or anything like that. It's about being there from a place of love and compassion and understanding, and with people that have been through it before.
Yep.
Yep, and helping you learn that you are good enough and that you are worth a life worth living, as we put it, yeah? And I have a song that I got the opportunity to write. And if you haven't heard my album yet, you can get it in our shop, yeah, on our website. So that's www.australianantiicecampaign.org.au. There's a shop there. Had to give that a plug. And it's called Lend a Hand, My Brother, yeah? So, bring a shepherd to my side. I'm lost and not forgiven, no matter how I hide or how I try. And it's, lift me to my feet so we'll walk tall together as equals when we meet, yeah? And that is just, when I was homeless, that's what I was crying out for, that, somebody would see me, somebody would hear my pain, and stand with me. Not everybody's had that opportunity that you've had to have your family there and, to bring you into a place where you could be loved back to life. But now you do that for others.
That's what I'm doing. And I enjoy it. Yep.
That's beautiful.
So, for me, it's like what people don't have, or, the family, I want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
In order to pass that I've learned.
Yeah.
To give life to others.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Was it easy to get off ice?
No, it wasn't easy. There's still, after a good month, there's still the cravings and stuff, and, the thought patterns. But, so I just ate and did fitness and, just try to sidetrack my mind to even thinking that way.
Yeah.
Just stay positive, and that's...
And how good does food taste after?
Oh,
yeah.
put on a bit of weight.
But then you lose it again, it stabilizes it again. It wasn't easy, but my next question is, was it worth it?
Oh, definitely worth it.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have done this years ago.
Yeah.
And it's a shame that I've had to live this lifestyle in order to, where I am at today. But I wouldn't be here today if I wouldn't, if I didn't learn what I did.
You were one of the few, and the reality is that 2% of people that get entrapped in ice addiction actually come out the other side. So you're one of the 2% that has been gifted a second chance at life.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of people end up in prison, mental health hospitals, or dead. Yeah, I was having that conversation with somebody earlier today. I don't know how many people we've buried. I've seen go. We lose track of. And that is the sad thing, because it could be your kid. Yeah, it could be your loved one. It could be your nephew, your niece. Yeah. And this is why we do what we do. People like Kerry and myself and the rest of the team, we go out into schools and we share the truth about ice, what it does to your brain, to your body, the long-term effects, what psychosis is. You can talk about that till the cows come home. At school we've had, education. Oh, don't do drugs, I did that. Did you do that? You still do it because you don't really get why. You know it's bad, but you don't really understand it until you walk in somebody's journey and story and you hear about the impact of that in somebody's life, So this is why we do what we do, guys, and this is why we're doing the show today, so you can share this, you can reach people in your community, in your network, warn them about, the dangers of ice, but also if you have a child, a youth in a school, or you're a teacher, or somebody in the community who's interested in helping this ice epidemic we're in, or helping work against it more likely, get in touch with us, because we want to get into your schools. We have active teams across Australia that are trained to educate youth with an evidence-based practice presentation. They interweave their personal stories in there and really lay out the questions that the kids want to ask. And have an open conversation about the truth about ice. Kerry, you didn't end up in jail?
No, I could have. I was close.
And you didn't end up dead?
No, I could have.
Yeah.
I was close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's a real blessing to have you on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
That you didn't have to go down that path, and that you're alive and not locked up in a mental health institute or in prison.
Yeah.
And we look forward to working with you guys a little bit closer and helping more people out there.
Awesome.
Is there any last minute things that you might want to talk to people at home or say to maybe somebody that might be in addiction contemplating, you know, I don't know, I kind of like it and, you know, I don't know anything else and, you know, is there anything that you want to say to that person about their life and where they're going?
Yeah, I would like to say, you know, make the right choice for you and your family, for yourself. Just say no to ice, you know.
Yeah.
As simple as that. Get help. Get a detox.
Yeah.
Maybe jump into a rehab, or you know, reach out to someone that's going to help you, want to help you.
Yeah.
You know, your life's too short, for sure.
Absolutely, and
Yep.
you're not just a number, and you are worthy, yeah, and life is so much better on the other side. So if you want to reach out on Facebook here, you can send us a private message, or you can call us on 1-800-NO-TO-ICE. And you too can make that transition from dark into light, hey? You don't need to be entrapped in that world. It's only going to give you, destroy your life, destroy you as a person. And that's not a life worth living.
Definitely not.
Can I show you a little slogan?
Yep.
Get you to do it with me. You at home can try it too, okay? It goes like this. Like this. N.
N.
That looks like an N, right? Not.
Not.
Even.
Even.
Once.
Once.
Guys, not even once. Don't try ice. You don't need to do it. We love you. We care. Take care of yourself. God bless you. Stay safe. Stay clean. Until next week. Stay well. Awesome.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Did you say everything you wanted to say?